To the semi-final, we're back here with LeRagpicker and Anezti, and Anezti unfortunately has lost the previous game, so he's down a game, and he's picked a Shrine of Excellion from the map pool as the game to play on. Now, your commentators are Vol and Conman. I've got Conman joining me again for some commentary. Great to have him back. We had him in the round of 8. And it looks like we're going to play a game of Eldar versus Dark Eldar this time. Now, bear in mind that LeRagpicker has got Dark Eldar, Anezti's got Eldar, so it's good versus bad in terms of the Eldar race is concerned, and the spawned on opposite sides of the map. We've got Dark Eldar at the 6 o'clock position, going for the Hall of Blood build, going for the Slave Chamber. Now, Joel, what do you think of DE versus Eldar in this sort of case when you've got the Slave Chamber and the Hall of Blood build instead of the jet bikes build? Any particular idea as to why he might have opted for that?
Well, I'm actually quite unfamiliar with this build. I noticed, I'll just point out straight away, Eldar has done Banshees, so that's possibly not what we usually see. Obviously, if he was anticipating jet bikes, I'm not sure if Banshees would have been the best thing. So,
no, it's against the Hellions. He would have been expecting Hellions. That's probably why he's done it. But he's probably going to be in for a nasty surprise when he sees that Hall of Blood build instead. But yeah, sorry, carry on with what you were saying there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Hall of Blood is definitely a lot more popular since 1.2, and I think it makes it hard to play Dark Eldar because you just don't know what they're going to do anymore. You never know what you're going to get from Dark Eldar.
Definitely. Well, these Banshees are going to be fantastic against those Mandrakes. That is until the invisibility research is completed, and that's almost, it's started now, so it won't be too far off. The Archon's going to get stuck into the Banshees, and I think that Anezti won't really achieve too much except disrupting from the capping order here. He's got that Exarch in, or the Exarch, however they call it, but the Dark Reapers have arrived, and that's something which will be a lot more effective against the Mandrakes, of course, until they become invisible. But the Archon there is in to disrupt them, so no problem there. Over at the Relic at the 9 o'clock, we've got some Guardians in to prevent the Mandrakes from taking it, so good job there by Anezti. But for a short period of time, it's really going to be Mandrakes against Banshees, and finally we've got the invisibility. So really, it's probably going to come down to Warriors versus Dark Reapers, and I'm not sure whether Dark Eldar is going to do so well with that. Although we've got the little Archon ability here, trapping the Dark Reapers, but not for long enough. What's the timer on that? How long does it actually trap the unit for?
Mate, it's literally a couple of seconds. Of course, that can make a couple of seconds. A high-level play makes a big difference, especially if you put like the acid cloud. I forget what it's called. The acid cloud on top of that, and a couple of seconds can be all the Dark Eldar needs.
Definitely. Well, unfortunately, LeRagpicker's lost the whole squad of Mandrakes there to some quick play there by Anezti. He's got his Dark Reapers right up in front there, but the Dark Reapers aren't even engaged in close combat right now. In fact, his Archon's taking a lot of flak right now. His Archon down half health. He's being trapped by the Banshees, and luckily LeRagpicker gets his Archon out of there. But we've got a lot of Eldar troops in the area, and in fact, just one Warrior squad showing up now. There's a Guardian squad, there's a Dark Reaper squad, we've got Banshees, got a whole lot, and LeRagpicker's really on the back foot here. Luckily he's got an LP2 to help defend. But this looks dangerous right from the outset. Eldar putting on a lot of pressure. We've even got the Relic being taken in the meantime at the 3 o'clock. And it just comes down to Warriors. Now, what's your experience with Warriors? I know they've got a lot of damage, but can they outshoot a squad of Dark Reapers if they've got enough of them? How many Warriors do you reckon it will take?
Well, I think he's going to need to outsquad Dark Reapers, honestly. I mean, just to close in on them and they can just keep fleet-of-footing away. I mean, Warriors are actually, even though they don't have any higher fire on the move than most units, because they can, unlike Dark Reapers, they can fire while they're moving. It makes them pretty good for using this fire on the move. But I think, I mean, you can see Anezti's actually gone for a variety of units just to have Dark Reapers as well as Banshees to build both stones from the aspect portal. I don't see that very often, so I don't think we're going to see a straight-up Dark Reapers versus Warriors. It's going to be Guardians and Banshees as well for the whole tier 1.
Yeah, I've got to say that Archon with that little retinue there is really what's carrying this game for LeRagpicker, because the only way he's been able to survive that early attack there, just disrupting the squads, and now he's got enough Warrior squads to run and shoot, as you said. making use of that. And these Banshees have actually turned out to be way more useful than I thought. Really doing the job, keeping units disrupted the whole time, and he's managed to keep them alive for a long time. This Archon squad has single-handedly tied up a whole group of 2 squads of Guardians and 2 squads of Dark Reapers successfully. So that's managed to keep him keep the Eldar off his back. He's able to get this Tower of Loathing up, this listening post next to his base here, and we've got a 3rd warrior squad out now. So he's going to need every warrior he can get. He's reinforcing them frantically. If you look at the requisition, they're pretty much tied, 86 and 10 for both players right now. And they've just got the slight lead in terms of military numbers. But the Banshees are actually getting taken out. The Banshees completely wiped out now. So that's going to be a bonus there for LeRagpicker. He's really in a much better situation than he was before. He can tie out one of the Dark Reaper squads. He's going for the larger Dark Reaper squad with the Exarch, with the Archon, and following up with 3 squads of warriors to chase down the rest of the Dark Reapers. So it's just going to be running backwards and forwards. And it really probably will come down to map territory later on, but yeah, hard to say. I mean, where to from here? What do you do in terms of tech?
I was just checking out the requisition rates at the moment. I noticed even though Anezti has most of the map, LeRagpicker, because of his LP2, he's actually got a slightly higher requisition. You can see on the 4 and 5 o'clock position, he's only just captured one point, and another point still isn't captured, and yet he's still in front in requisition.
Yeah, that was actually a development since I pointed out the evenly matched requisition earlier on. LP2s went up in defense, and now we've actually got a close combat going on, and of course, Warriors not being brilliant in close combat, I guess they're slightly better than Guardians, well, actually pretty evenly matched, to be honest, and now Anezti's really putting the hurt on the Dark Eldar, getting them out of the base. You can see all the dead bodies, all the souls on the ground, and LeRagpicker's force back. He's not really got that many Warriors left. When you've got so many Guardians and so many Dark Reapers, it's really hard to fight them off. And I guess he is going to have to rely on this requisition bonus he's getting. He's actually getting another LP2 right now, and he's probably going to want to save up to tier 2. He's going to need Scourges and so forth to deal with the Dark Reapers, and hopefully his plan is going to be to try not to take too much damage, try not to take too much casualties before he can actually get up there. It's going to be hard though. He's only just putting another plasma generator down, and if he's not lucky, he's going to lose his LP2 right now.
Oh, this looks bad. All the Eldar units are cut in. It's relentless. I mean, he needs to recover his warriors. He just hasn't been given that chance. Yes, he's keen on taking out LP2.
The Dark Eldar worker's actually repairing it, and I'm really surprised there that Anezti didn't actually pick off that worker, because had he done that, he would have been able to take out the LP2, but LeRagpicker has miraculously saved it there. The worker survived. He's actually beaten off a whole bunch of Eldar forces. I actually thought that was close to being it there for the Dark Eldar, but LeRagpicker has done well, and Anezti's missed an opportunity, but still, he's not out of the frying pan yet. The Dark Reapers are just getting slightly into range, trying to outrange the LP2. Very difficult to do, and this isn't really going to work. Now it's time for the Warriors. The Warriors have actually reinforced themselves very quickly. I'm surprised by that, and they're straight back into the action. The Archon's got plenty of hit points. He's losing an Incubi now, Incubus, and pushing the Eldar back once again. I feel like Anezti just needs to camp in that crater, prevent LeRagpicker from taking that strategic point, and then take him straight up to tier 2 would be the way to go. He's got 3 plasma generators down now, so he's probably going to be able to afford it before long. He's got enough power for tier 2, just not enough requisition. So what he needs to do is just stop. He needs to camp out in this crater and stop reinforcing his troops, get to tier 2, and then put the herd on with Warp Spiders, Fire Dragons, and the like. But, I mean, what do you reckon? Do you think that will be a sound plan, or no?
Well, I think Anezti needs to pull back a moment. We just had another Warriors squad pull out. And just going back on that LP2 before, that was unreal. I really thought it was over for the Dark Eldar, and I think he might have even put that tortured slave behind the LP2 deliberately, just so that Anezti couldn't see it and couldn't target it, because the slave did not go straight for it going. I noticed he walked behind it, and then he started tearing it. So I wonder if there's some kind of real skill going into it there, or if it was an accident.
Yeah, no doubt we'll get a comment from Anezti on the forums or something about that when he hears this, but we'll see. The Eldar is still in a great position here. The Dark Reaper is now actually going to capture this point in Dark Eldar territory, and there's nothing really that LeRagpicker can do about that. If he moves out past the range of the LP2, he's going to be swamped with fire from the Guardians and the Dark Reapers, and the Dark Reapers capturing that point can just stop. Now we have the Soul Shrine almost finished, so LP2